Pain Hustlers is a Netflix original movie starring Chris Evans and Emily Blunt. If you're like me and you heard those two names together in the same movie, it was enough to sell me, so it's probably enough to sell you. But is it any good? Here's my review. So Pain Hustlers is all about Emily Blunt's character named Liza and Chris Evans' character named Pete. And Pete is basically a pharmaceutical salesman, and Emily Blunt's character is basically a single mother who is out of a job and is looking for money fast. So the movie basically tells the story about how Emily Blunt goes from someone who has no clue about anything in pharmaceutical sales to selling one of the most highly addictive drugs to people for no reason at all, even if they have a migraine or anything. It's meant to be for stage 4 cancer patients only, but it was being prescribed to people for migraines, as I said, for aches, pains, anything. And how this happened was that Chris Evans and Emily Blunt's characters were paying doctors to prescribe people these medications so that they would basically be able to keep their company afloat. And yeah, look, this is a true story. Some of you might know it, some of you might not. But what happens is the people get highly addicted to it. There's a lot of deaths and there is a lot of controversy. But someone compared this to a cheap Wolf of Wall Street, and I can see that. And it's kind of getting shit on this movie, I'm not going to lie. It's getting a lot of bad reviews. I don't think it's as bad as it's being made out to be. I had a good time with this, and I think what really saves this movie is those two lead characters of Emily Blunt and Chris Evans. I've never really seen Emily Blunt in a role like this before, and I thought she was great. I thought she was really good, she was commanding, and some people are saying she was miscast. Nah, I don't think so. I think she was fantastic in this lead role. And Chris Evans, every time he plays like a villainous character on screen, I just love him. And I think he's having a lot of fun in this, and you can see that. And just the way he is on screen, his persona, his aura, he's a great character. Well, very bad character, but he's great to watch and he's very entertaining. And I just think the story was really interesting to see how from start to finish this entire company just went from about to go bankrupt to having millions and millions and billions of money coming in through these paid prescriptions by these doctors. And basically just the way Emily Blunt, you just see her character go from working at a strip club in the first 5 minutes to bribing doctors to prescribe this medication to patients. And, you know, each prescription that they get a commission out of it. So they're basically only in it for the money. And as you can probably expect, as I mentioned, the drug is highly addictive, so things don't stay peachy for too long. And look, I just think that this movie was decent. I think it's about 2 hours long. I think it's 2 hours, 4 minutes long. Yeah, maybe there could have been some few minutes shaved off, but overall, I actually never wanted to turn the movie off. I thought it was quite good, but I don't think it's fantastic. And it is one of those Netflix movies where there's a lot of style, but there's not a lot of substance. And if it wasn't for Emily Blunt and Chris Evans, I don't think it would have been as good as it was. But personally, I'm going to have to give it a 3 stars, 6 out of 10. It's definitely not as bad as it's being made out to be. And honestly, it's being made out to be pretty terrible. But as I said, those two lead performances really hooked me in, and I thought they did a great job. And it was just quite interesting to learn about that opioid epidemic. And I personally, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know much about it, so it was kind of interesting to see what actually went down. And I was kind of like, wow, this shit actually happened. But yeah, Pain Hustlers, it's on Netflix right now. If you've seen it, let me know. If you plan on seeing it, also let me know too. We can have a conversation in the comments about it.